With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a great Monday nighter, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
You ain't going nowhere.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Right away, they'll change the look. Williams now on 1st and 10. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. You look at this Browns defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Second and 7 from the 20. And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 20, here's 2nd down and 7.
Hey, middle.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Give running right is Mitchell.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
Now Jackson going to shift him around.
He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
0 hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Now Williams throwing on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10. Now they'll change things up.
And quick throw here, that's complete. And out of bounds right around the 20. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Yo.
Again, Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays.
3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot and run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
60 bison, 60 bison.
Back to throw again. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
Jackson going to keep it running right.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is right there. It's good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Operating from the gun, Watkins. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Yeah, look at this Baltimore defense.
They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. It didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
To throw on 3rd down, Watkins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
It's taken to the 26. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Ravens will take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And now an audible here into something else. First down, here's Mitchell.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 42-yard line, here's second and a yard.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger.
Right back to Mitchell here.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now it's second and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I heard that they spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game. Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run, and I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to throw. Watkins. Past the 20. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Watkins. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Off the play fake. Watkins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff. And just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And his kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
You ain't doing nothing today.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 10. Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
19 tight. 19 tight. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. That's Horton. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On first down, Williams.
That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, Ozzy, sit up. Hey, middle. Hey.
Now it's Jackson.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Watkins. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Watkins.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Williams.
That's to Mitchell out of the backfield.
And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Nolan Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Buffalo 18. 79 Broncos.
Here's Williams looking to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Harris. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Warriors 70. Trap 60, trap 60. Hey, check that.
Back to throw. Williams flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle.
Oh, what was he thinking there? It's easily intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half.
1st half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. 2nd half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins.
The fair catch taken short of the goal line, and they'll begin this 3rd quarter at their own 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, the 1st half very even. I mean, really in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the 2nd half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off play action. Watkins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Watkins. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Now Lamar changing the play.
In motion left goes Carmichael. They'll start out here with a jet sweep.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They run the option on 2nd down.
And he'll be out right at the 35. 11 yards is the gain on the keeper there, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. Up the middle they go. Milner. And he'll snag about 5 yards down in the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
Yo.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3.
Well, a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Watkins. Down the sideline he goes. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Watkins got his man complete over the middle. It's Barnett. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Looking to throw. Watkins. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
On 1st and 10, Watkins.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go.
Running left, here's Mitchell.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
70 Lions.
It's brought in by Harris.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Stride. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. I call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a 1st down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Oh, we're ready.
2nd and 7.
Middle.
Now Lamar changing the look. Right back to Mitchell on second down.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hey, report! Report!
He gets it complete to Harris.
And he will have a Ravens first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Try the right side with Mitchell.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then at the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Hey, report! Report!
Right back to Mitchell on second down.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harris.
And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 14-yard line.
Wanna quit? Go.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
No, we changed it.
He'll look to throw. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sand. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on third down. Watkins. That is caught. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun. Watkins. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
This is 1st and 10.
He's back to throw.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Back to throw. He'll make the diving catch.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
At the 8-yard line.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
A design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
They'll look to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
Now the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
Makes the score Browns 10, Ravens 9. Jack Fox set to kick off.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
Williams on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mitchell. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Jackson going to change things up a bit. Throwing, Jackson.
And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Report!
Here's Jackson.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. A handoff from Mitchell running left.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Once again, it's Mitchell.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This to put an end to a wild Monday night. And he got it. The kick is good, and a fantastic finish here on Monday night. And joy will reign in the Inner Harbor as the Ravens have won it.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So for Baltimore, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.